Hi, I'm Doug Smith again with another session of the PD series, It's the Economy. Today I have with me two members of the Strategic Planning Subcommittee of the PEDC, Bob Andrews and John Palmieri. Welcome, guys. Let's start by just asking, what is your subcommittee about and how did it get started?
Well, Doug, we actually started the subcommittee in 2005, and the reason we started this subcommittee was to take a good hard look-see at what we might be able to do to generate some additional revenue for the town of Portsmouth in the future. As you know, our tax base at the present time is deeply entrenched with residential, and we're looking for ways to generate some economic drivers that might improve the revenue generation for the community in the years to come. So in the process of doing this analysis, we formed a SWOT list. And it took us a long time to generate this list, but basically SWOT is your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. We also conducted a workshop for the community to validate this SWOT list, and as the basis of our future in terms of looking at what we might be able to do, we work through this SWOT list.
Yeah, I know, it seems like public support has been a constant thing throughout almost every subcommittee in the PEDC's organization. And obviously, like you said, you had a public workshop that took a look at the SWOT and discussed it. John, how do you think that stuff worked out? Do you feel like you got a mandate from the town to go forward with some of these?
I wouldn't necessarily say a mandate, but you know, we did receive a good broad community support on the workshops, and it became apparent at the workshops that the people thought that you know, we're looking at where the town should put its resources and where the town should look for additional revenues. And it was very apparent that people thought that we should support business growth and we should support education in the town. So we've been really kind of working off the business growth aspect, looking for new revenue sources. And as a result of that, we kind of, although our title is a Strategic Planning Subcommittee, we've kind of set on a near-term plan. And we published that near-term plan in October 2009, and we've updated November 2010. And it's on our website. We'll be updating again here with a status. One of the elements is to look for a development of opportunities on the west side.
In terms of some of the opportunities that we found here in the town of Portsmouth, we have a very prime coastal location. We live on an island which generates close to 3 million visitors a year, of which Portsmouth doesn't generate much revenue, and obviously the city of Newport has done extremely well, and we're very grateful that the city of Newport has done that well. So with that, we started to look at what we might be able to do, and one of the things we realized is that in our Melville area, the west side, we have a great depth of water there. Our water in many cases is well over 40 feet deep. With that, we were looking at ways to generate some tourism. And one of the things we looked at was the possibility of bringing in some type of large carrier to generate that tourism. And ironically, at that very same time, the opportunity came up for charitable donation status of the John F. Kennedy, the super aircraft carrier. So that has been one of the things that we have been working on very strongly.
It's a point right now where we've been able to obtain enough information on the JFK, and I might say the JFK project is very forthcoming with information for us, that we have enough body of information that we think we start an analysis of the impact of the JFK and opportunities it provides to the town.
Let me get more information about the JFK project specifically. What would you do with the JFK? This is a 1,000-foot long aircraft carrier. How would you plan to leverage this or something for the town of Portsmouth?
The JFK, I mean, first it starts up the Rhode Island Aviation Hall of Fame has a JFK project within them, and they're the one that are sponsoring this. And this is going to be a privately funded museum, family entertainment center, educational center. It'll be an attraction that is really, you might say, a national-wide attraction. It makes a big difference. It sets us in Portsmouth in a very different position. It provides the opportunity that Portsmouth becomes a destination. And therefore, what we're trying to do is determine what are the opportunities this presents to Portsmouth economically first. This is unlike other business development. You know, this is a ship that's moored. And there are two potential locations for mooring right now. One of them is the Melville area, one is the Middletown area. It's so that it does not provide a residential, it does not provide a property tax base for us, but it does provide a lot of visitors coming to the town and opportunities for business. So in assessing the JFK project, one of the things we're looking at, what is its impact, potential impact on commercially zoned properties stretching from Raytheon in the south to Route 24 in the north. Really getting together, we have a small group looking at getting together with business owners, seeing what this can do for them to help develop those commercial properties and therefore build a commercial tax base. That's one aspect of how the JFK can help.
Part of the research that we're doing in terms of analyzing what the JFK might do for the town of Portsmouth is we're looking at other super aircraft carriers throughout the United States to take a look-see as in terms of what their revenue generation is, what the spin-offs is in terms of getting other businesses active, and how it affects the community. And this is something that it's taking a lot of work to pull this through, but we're getting to a point where we're starting to see the light, and we'll be able to present something very shortly to the public.
Yeah, do you plan to do public workshops or something like that on this project, for example?
Yes, we will. The first, we're looking at this as probably a three-step process. The first thing is that this being a business opportunity, it has to make sense economically. So the first thing we're trying to understand is the economics of it and how we can leverage the JFK to be a positive for the fiscal impact on the town and on the businesses in the community. The second thing is, if it goes into Melville, it has to fit in with the other developments. There are major developments in the Melville area. I mean, we have a very healthy marine industry. We want to have the JFK to have a positive impact on that. There is the O'Neill property developments on Weaver Cove. We want to have the JFK to have a positive impact on that. So that there needs to be an integration of ideas and moving forward in the Melville area. That's the second part. The third part is if it passes those musters, then we need to get more information out to the community, whole workshop, so they can understand what it is, how it benefits the community, and what the negative impacts will be. Because certainly when we bring up to 300,000 visitors to the JFK, it will have some impact on the town.
Yeah, major impact, I think, on Portsmouth. But right now you're in the mode of analyzing all the information and data, right?
Yes,
very much so. It's just like when we started the strategic planning subcommittee. It took us almost 4 years to come up with the SWOT list. And now that we have the handle on that, once again, the JFK represents a potential catalyst for the entire west side, yeah, if it does work out that way.
Now, we're talking about an aircraft carrier on basically on display. Presumably people could visit it.
Yes.
It would be moored somewhere. It would have to be attached to the land somehow, I would guess. What are some of the potential upsides for the town here? Like you say, it can't be taxed. It has no property tax value. Where else could the town, you think, get revenues out of this?
That's one thing we are looking at, is how can we generate some revenue for the town? And one of those areas might well be in terms of a potential commuter parking lot, for example. It is anticipated if this was done properly, it could draw 300,000 to 400,000 people a year. Obviously, there'd be cars coming in, and there could be a charge for parking, which could go directly to the community. Just think if they had literally 1,000 cars a day, and we were capable of charging $5 a day, for example, for parking, it would represent a pretty strong potential. Just like the wind turbine has done a great job for us in terms of utilities.
Sure.
And with JFK as an attraction in Melville, it also has the opportunity of changing the traffic flow down the west side, because people could then come to the JFK area, park. There's been attraction there to attract them, and they then can take other transportation, intermodal transportation, down to Newport and back, and not have all the cars going up and down West Main Road.
So maybe they could use that rail corridor going
Yes.
from here to Newport.
Yeah. So it may end up with a better overall traffic situation, help improve the overall traffic situation for the island,
Sure.
along with having another attraction for visitors. Well, one of the problems right now, I think, in Newport is that there's a feeling that that, you know, there isn't enough attractions for families with children. And, you know, there's only so far you can go with the mansions. And therefore, this would help give a more family-oriented attraction.
Now, where can people go to find out more information about this project and what it might look like and all that kind of stuff?
Well, we have meetings rather consistently. We do announce them. We put them in the paper, and it is the Strategic Planning Subcommittee, and the public is invited and welcome to come to any of those meetings. When we reach a point where we feel that we can conduct a workshop, we will announce that to the public, and we hope that we'll see a lot of the people there.
The Rhode Island Aviation Hall of Fame has a website. They have a JFK project indicated on their website. Anyone who's interested can go to that website, can sign up to receive notices of any press releases on the JFK project.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, I think we'll look with great interest on your analysis as it moves forward on this project. It looks like a major one that could have some major impact on the town. Positive, certainly. There may be some negatives, which you guys will hopefully figure out before we get there. Any other projects in the future for this is a major one, obviously, for the Strategic Planning Subcommittee, besides the JFK?
We have so many things on the agenda. Obviously, the potential for Tank Farms 1 and 2 and the future of Tank Farms 1 and 2 is part of our analysis at the present time. And we've got a long way to go on that as well, but we'll be able to present something hopefully by the end of the year to the public.
Well, that's great. We've had Bob Andrews and John Palmieri, the chairman and co-chairman,
Co-chairs.
Co-chair of the Strategic Planning Subcommittee of the Portsmouth Economic Development Committee. Thank you very much, guys, and I appreciate the info, and we'll be looking to see more about the JFK project in the future. Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you.